or my goal personally, has always been to help people stay on their land, keep their property, and be able to fix it up.
Hey guys, so I'm here near Marshall and doing a really cool project, actually working with the guys I normally work with, and we're working on retrofitting sheds for people to have options, people who lost their houses or had significant house damage, for them to have options. If they're living in a tent, they might temporarily move into the shed, and then also a storage place for their current belongings as they're hopefully transitioning into new housing in the future. There's 9.
This is a ridge. You want the lower one?
No, doesn't matter. I just like to stay up here while I'm up here.
All right, I'm excited we're doing this actually.
Yeah, me too.
This is the next thing. I'm here with Stephanie, who's heading this up. Hi, Stephanie.
Hey guys.
So Stephanie, tell me what y'all are doing out here.
Okay, so we are trying to offer solutions for people who are in tents and have things and don't have anywhere to put them. So it started with a person down the street. His home was destroyed. He left his property, and while he was gone, he was looted, and the very few things he still had were taken. So he moved back to his property onto sort of a makeshift tent. And while his home is being repaired, we just thought there had to be a better way to get his stuff that he did have secure and a warm place to maybe take a rest.
Yeah, I think it's awesome because, like, when I look at this, I'm looking at this immense problem of new housing for people.
Yeah.
But it's not just like people are gonna get new houses. There's all these problems along the way. So I was really excited about what you're doing here, because it's like this is a transition step towards people having a little more stability and sanity today, out of just the madness of like losing their home. And so I think it's a really neat project to work on.
Yeah, and it solves the problem because, you know, housing here is already a problem.
Yeah.
So I have a friend who lost his home. He does have the means to pay his mortgage and to rent, but he still can't find anywhere. His house is Airbnb hopping, and then you've got a lot of people who don't have the means to continue to pay their mortgages on a house that doesn't exist anymore, and also rent, and then you're driving far. So this gives them an option, like if they need to keep their stuff close while they're repairing their home. It's security, and it's better than a tent. You've camped out in these woods, and the tents, it's great that things are being donated, but they're not all-weather tents, and they're not really equipped to keep people warm in this kind of environment as we move into winter.
These sheds weren't really designed with interior finish in mind, so there's a lot of sheetrock in there. That's what I'm adding right now. So this is here so that the sheetrock can come into the corner like that. And then there'll be another one here. We're putting in the other side of the corner now, so there's like an inside corner. Insulating these walls below. Now that we've got our corners in. One of the big things is that winter is about to start in earnest. And what I've seen from many folks around here is a lot of them aren't willing to leave. Like, they don't want to.
Yeah, they don't want to leave.
And some of them, many people have, and they're living with relatives, but there's many people who don't want to leave their land, which is completely understandable. So I don't know, I just think this is a great project.
Right now we're working on 9.
Yeah.
So you guys are finishing out 9 of them. They're all different sizes for different needs.
Yeah.
And then we've placed 2 already.
Okay.
And so, you know, we want to keep growing and offering solutions. So we have a forum if you need a shed to store your stuff in and maybe have a place to stay warm if you're working on your home, or if you want to donate to this fund. And then it's going to go, our goal, or my goal personally, has always been to help people stay on their land, keep their property, and be able to fix it up. Because housing is such a problem here already. And I actually was just watching some things where people are starting to come back into the Chimney Rock area, and there's nothing there, and so they're setting up tents again, and like tent camps, because they want to be able to get to their property and get to their things. The roads are not easy to travel in some of those areas as well, so going back and forth isn't a great option.
All right, we need something above this window. 24 and a half, a little light. It's cool that I'm here today because I didn't know that we were gonna. The guy I work with had us come out here. He said, "Show up out here. Let's work out here." And he said, "You can work for pay. You can work for free." And I said, "Well, why don't I volunteer today? But I'll make a video because I'll get some ad revenue back on that. I can't just volunteer endlessly, you know? That's not sustainable." And they get that. But this is exactly the type of thing I'm excited about. And I knew our friend Stephanie was working on this. But hadn't had a chance to connect with her yet. So anyway, all I'm saying is awesome that got to be here today. So currently you've given out 2 and then you've got 9 on this shed lot now that you purchased, and then we're retrofitting them to make them a little more flexible as what people could use them for.
Yeah.
What are all of these allocated?
Yes.
And where are they going? Mostly Buncombe, Madison, or just all over?
They're going all over. So 2 of them, one is going to Swannanoa, one is going to Black Mountain. 3 are going to Yancey County, and then the other 3 are going to, what is Canton area? What is that?
Haywood.
County? The Haywood County.
Okay.
Yeah.
And all those that totally checks out. All those areas are like major riverbeds, steep valleys, or in the case of Swannanoa, it just had massive flooding.
And these are all going to property owners, so that they just have a place, like I said, to put their stuff and can stay on their property until better options. We always call it like better than a tent option, because the tents aren't really a safe option for people if they are going to choose to stay the night on their property.
100%. Another option that people could use these for, which is a real need, is folks who've lost their houses. Maybe they're temporarily staying somewhere else. They might be in a tent, but then people are offering them housing goods for their new house, which is theoretical new house. They don't have anywhere to put it.
Yeah.
So it's like they could have a really nice high value item, say like a washer, dryer, appliances, and like what are they going to do with them? So this would potentially give them an option to put those aside, so that, you know, months down the road they could have some of that set aside and safe from being stolen.
Yeah, and that's one of the issues, and you've probably seen it just here in this, where we're at right now. It is filled with stuff. There are bins of clothes and so many things. And the people who really need this stuff aren't taking it because they don't have anywhere to keep it. Their cars are full of their stuff that they tried to save from their house, if they even have a car, because a lot of the cars didn't make it as well. So, but also all the generators that have been donated and the tools for people to start rebuilding their home. There is a risk of those things being looted too if there's not somebody staying in the neighborhoods where these people are at. So it allows someone to be able to stay on the property, keep an eye on things. Or put the things in here and lock the door if you do want to leave. So you've got a secure place to put those expensive items.
It looks amazing. Just the first coat.
Might be the other coat.
Hard to say. Oh, you made a ladder.
I made it. Yeah, just a little one.
So smart. We're working in 3 at the same time, 4 in the same time, so it's like we didn't have enough ladders for everyone in every shed.
Is there more than one ladder even right now?
There's a red one, 6 foot. He may not be using it, and then there's a yellow.
Okay. I looked around. I didn't go over there and peek.
And
hey, what's up, YouTube? Don't forget to
that's
smash that
right.
like and subscribe button.
You heard Michael. This is number 3, and then the 4th one we're working on sheetrock. Funds that this organization is receiving would go to new sheds, but first finishing these. Is that accurate?
Yeah. Yeah, we're trying to get these 9 out. I've been holding back a little bit just because we didn't know if we'd have the crew, but we have you guys now, which is amazing. And you know, we know there's need, like you've said, you could find people. The need is there, and I think it's going to start growing more too, because people were in temporary housing options, but the shelters they're schools. My son's school is a shelter, and they have to open back up, and so.
Oh, you guys are videoing.
You can come in.
I want to run with things if I go
Come
wrong.
in.
It seems like all the mucking is over, and we've got to get to the rebuild phase and sustainable options for people.
Yeah, one of the things that struck me about this whole mess after Helene is that every day and every week is new needs. It's like rolling. And so the need for supplies just being dumped here in mass, kind of blindly, is over. And there was a time for that. It was super important. And like honestly, people were like fed when they wouldn't have food in many situations. So I'm not saying supplies aren't needed, but the need is shifting. There's a lot of supplies here. The need is shifting towards projects like this, and then it's going to shift again to just a total, once everyone has kind of some level of stabilized housing, your current situation stabilized, it's going to shift completely to rebuilding homes, which is what I'm really excited about.
Yeah.
But I think this is like the interim step.
It is the interim step.
And that's why I'm super excited to like connect with you and see what you're doing here. Yeah, the whole shed is rocking. That would be nice if you fixed that. It does feel like I'm a little tipsy. Not that I've been tipsy recently. 15 months. Yeah, that's better. Do you think it matters if we do the ceiling first in here with these gambrel roofs? It probably doesn't matter because it's not really holding it.
It doesn't matter as much as the flat roof.
That joint's a little challenging because there's like nothing behind this. I don't know. We're holding off on insulating this ceiling because this is 2 foot on center. R13, which is the depth that you can get out of a 2x4 insulation 2 foot on center, isn't very common. I think we can get some tomorrow. It's just hard to install it when you can't staple on the sides.
Sure.
I'm talking to my camera, not you. If you or your church wants to connect with this type of thing, I'm recommending people try to make local connections, either with one family, like a church adoptive family, or with an organization who's already doing the work, which has been kind of our heart with our channel. We're not doing the work. It's just like we're showing people who actually are doing it.
Yeah, well, and that's my channel's about gardening,
Yeah.
not about this. But because we are here, and so many have asked, how do we help? We're trying to, guide people in the sustainable options.
Yeah.
So people aren't. I heard I had one woman who purchased this shed for a family, and she was saying she's from where Katrina was, and 25% of the population never came back after Katrina. And
Yeah.
so that would be like where my heart is how do we keep people, these are generational land pieces for these people, how do we get people back to where they want to be and stay where they want to be. So.
Well, thanks so much for talking. I'm going to put in the link in the description a link to one of Stephanie's videos, and then we'll put a link if you want to donate. If that's something that's on your heart, we'll put a link to donate to Homes for Hope. All the funds are going to Homes for Hope, and all the funds are going to go to shed solutions, or potentially the next need that's appropriate.
Yeah, that's our hope. Like, this is a temporary thing, and it's to get people safe and secure. But then the ultimate goal is you guys helping people rebuild homes. So any funds, when there's not a need, once we have people secure, then any funds are going to go to helping them rebuild.
Okay.
So the goal being housing.
I'm eating lunch and just texting people because what they're running into is I don't know how long we'll be able to stay on this. We have a framing job that we started last week. And so I'm just texting some skilled workers. I know everyone's transitioning from volunteer work back to paid work, and they have more funds. They have funds, and they will have more funds to continue this and can actually hire people. So I'm just reaching out to my friends and saying, hey, like, do you have time to come finish sheetrock? So we can keep this rolling and get these sheds delivered, even if we have to leave. I'm gonna move on to this next shed, which is a lot of the wall cavities are insulated, but we need sheetrock, nailer. Kind of been feeling this tension because I didn't really want to go back to work because I need to make money, right? I'm at work. I'm not getting paid today because I was like, I'll just volunteer today, but if I come back here tomorrow, I'll probably be getting paid to do this, which is crazy. And this is exactly what I want to be doing, so it just feels like a big blessing to be able to be here. I'm gonna show you why this type of work and extremely targeted work is really, really important right now. I'm just gonna show you the level of chaos of supplies. Here's just between two sheds, there's all these medical supplies. And I'm not saying anyone's like mismanaging things. People like running a supply station like the one right next to these sheds, they're doing the best they can do to meet a bunch of people's needs. They got hammered with volume of supplies so great that they can't get them all organized. And so there's just stuff everywhere. And people are actively shopping, like free shopping here today, meeting their needs. So like nothing bad is happening down here. It's great actually. It's just chaos everywhere, and there's a lot. Some places are super organized. Some places just can't. They don't have like the manpower to organize and handle stuff. But people were here all day, like shopping for groceries. And there are many dwellings within about 3 miles of here that were totally destroyed. So it's really super meaningful to at least those people, and then other people affected, like they don't have work. All right, guys, thanks for joining me today. This is a cool project we're working on, and we're coming back tomorrow. We're kind of pushing tomorrow to try to finish out as many of these as possible. It would be ideal to have more people on finishing, honestly. So I've reached out to some friends where we're going to be racing basically to finish as many as we can tomorrow, because we got to go back to our framing job. It's not like we need work. We don't need work. We have a ton of work elsewhere. But we're trying to get as much done as possible. All right, thanks for joining me, and talk to you soon. Bye.